Before we bring down our honor guard and legion to present the colors, we ask that anybody not in uniform please remove any hats or hoods, and at this time please silence any cell phones or noise-making devices. Please remain standing as you are able and prepare yourselves for the singing of our national anthem recorded by our Oelwein High School Concert Choir.
Oh, stand and see by the dawn's early light, what so proud
Welcome everyone, and thank you for being here at the Oelwein Community Schools 2022 Veterans Day program. This is a time where we celebrate those who have served our country and dedicated their lives to serving all of us in the room to protect our freedoms. John F. Kennedy once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." As we move through the program today, let us hear the words that are said and live out the challenges presented to us. Next, I would like to invite to the podium Captain Mr. Tim Hadley to introduce the Oelwein High School Band.
Thank you. The OHS Band is under the direction of Mr. Corey McBride. Today they will be performing the United States Armed Forces Salute, arranged by Douglas E. Wagner. Throughout this melody, veterans and service members will hear their branch's anthem. Please stand at that time to be recognized for your service to your branch. The Army. The Marines. The Navy. United States Coast Guard. Thank you, Mr. McBride and the OHS Band. Thank you also, veterans, for your time and presence here this morning. At this time, I would like to now invite our keynote speaker to the stand, Sergeant Major Dan Wagner. Sergeant Major Wagner is an Oelwein High School alum who serves full-time as the Operations Sergeant Major for the Recruiting and Retention Program in the Iowa Army National Guard. Not only a fellow service member, but I would consider a friend. Please welcome Sergeant Major Wagner.
Good morning, Oelwein, student body, veterans, faculty. Gosh, I'm a little nervous all of a sudden. Everybody always says you put Wagner in front of a mirror, he'll talk for hours. I get in front of Oelwein, I get nervous. I don't know what's going on. So, hey, good morning. I'm honored to be here today, but I want to thank Mr. Hadley for, I guess, guilting me, manipulating me, whatever you want to call it, to be here today. He knows that I live in Des Moines now. I never see my family. I'm hardly ever home. So on my day off, I appreciate that you made me get in uniform today and come here today to talk. So thank you very much. But no, seriously, I am honored. He asked me and I said, yes, it's Oelwein. I was asked by many different people to come and talk at their schools and their communities, and I kept saying no, but I can't say no to Oelwein. So I'm honored to be here today. I kind of thought last minute I'd have some coffee and maybe some valet parking or something like that, but that didn't happen, right? So I skipped coffee today, so I'm a little bit low on motivation. So Oelwein student body, if you'd stand up. If you're a student, stand up, please. All right, I need a little fire, a little excitement, a little Oelwein pride coming back, all right? Get me fired up today. All right, so on the count of 3, I want to hear you scream as loud as you can for your pride for your veterans, for your pride for your community, and you're going to hold that for 5 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3. At work, they call me Sergeant Major. They think that's special. Here in the community, I'm Dan. I'm Carly's dad, Zach's dad. You guys don't even know what Sergeant Major means, right? But, I wear many hats, and a lot of that is due to my service, and that service has related to my community and different things that I've done throughout my time. So, first, I really want to thank the veterans. The veterans that stood before me. And there is probably a few in here that'll stand after I, right? So the strength of our nation is on our veterans. The freedoms and liberties that we have, that we take for granted every single day, are due to a veteran, due to their sacrifice from their families, from their jobs, from their goal sets that they want in life. Everything we have is due to a veteran, okay, the true heroes of our country. And I'm not saying that to get recognition for myself. I'm saying that because it's true, it's honest. It's for these men and women that are in this community that left their families to make sure that you grow up in an environment, in a country, that you can do what you want. You can play the sports you want. You can wear the clothes you want. You can, have the religion, the career, anything that you want. It's yours. That doesn't happen without veterans, without service. Okay? Ones that are going to sacrifice, ones that are going to bleed, ones that are going to sweat, so that you have that. So when 1% of our population stands up and serves, has the qualifications to stand up and serve for the other 99%, so you can do what you want, so you can live the life you want. So thank you, veterans. I appreciate all that you've done. So thank you. Service to me it started off about me. I didn't know what I was going to do in my life. 6 of us joined the Marine Corps together. Quickly grew up, no offense to the Marines, right? I quickly, got a little bit smarter and went to the Army, okay? But, all right, that was only something I thought was funny, obviously, huh? Okay, so, it soon became about others, right? And that's what I love about the military these days is the impact that we have on others. Every single day, I get to lead, mentor, and develop future leaders for our organization. I get to impact their lives. Not just their career, their professional life, but their family lives too. And so watching out for them, seeing the things that they do, to me that's why I continue to serve, is because of the people. It's not because I get a great paycheck and great benefits and all that stuff. That's already locked in, right? It's for the soldiers and impacting lives. And the greatest thing about that is getting them to understand that the freedoms and liberties are on their shoulders. So in recruiting battalion, they're the first defense for all of that type stuff. Without recruiters, we have no military force. We can have the greatest technologies, all the best equipment, but if we don't have our greatest asset, and that's the people, the Army doesn't work, Marines don't work, the Air Force don't work, the Navy don't work, Coast Guard don't work. Right? So it all starts with them, and that is awesome to me, to be able to get them to understand the impact that they have, the impact a soldier has on, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than, it affects every single one of you, what we do. Okay, so, but in service, we learn a lot of skills and traits. And so there's one I mainly want to talk about today. There's a lot of things I've learned. And a lot of those are intangible, leadership, development, respect, honor, integrity, selfless service, courage, all that type of stuff we learn as soldiers at such a high level. Okay, but one of the greatest things that I take, and we see it and we use it every single day, one of the biggest intangibles is mental strength. Okay, soldiers, Marines, airmen, Navy, all of them, sailors, they all are constantly tested and proven on their mental strength. They're only as strong as their mind. Right? So every day they have all sorts of adversity that comes in their life, and they have to embrace that and push through that. There's many challenges that a service member has that you would easily run the other way from. Right? But what is it that pushes them to push through that adversity? That takes a platoon of 30 to walk down a valley when they're surrounded by 350 Taliban. That's mental toughness. That's mental strength to continue down that valley, right? So every single day they have to be mentally strong. We also work on physical fitness, but mental strength is our number one thing that we always focus on with soldiers. But that is the thing that everybody can take. It's not just soldiers. Everyone can take and work and embrace adversity. And I go back to a conversation I had the other day. I didn't want to have it. But I'm walking down the halls of Joint Force Headquarters, and I'm like, oh, crud, there's Brigadier General Mack. I don't know what to do. You know, when I was a private and I saw a sergeant major, I'd get nervous. I didn't know what to do. I'd be like, oh, crud, and you'd walk the other way. I see a general. I'm a sergeant major now. I would see a general, and I had that same feeling like, oh, crap, what do I do? Don't look at him. Don't make eye contact. Walk the other way. Nope, it's too late. So I had to walk down that hall. And, of course, this guy, you never know how that conversation's going to go. It's either going to be, hey, I'm having a great day, and I'm going to say something nice to you, or I'm gonna punch you with my words, you know. So you never know what you're getting out of this guy. So I ventured down that hallway, knowing he's gonna talk to me, and he looks at me and he says, "Sergeant Major, you've had a great career." And I said, "I think so, sir." He's like, "Wasn't always great," and I'm like, "Oh crap, here we go." Right? You know, it wasn't always great. You almost got fired as a recruiter. I'm like, yep. Well, you had some problems at home too, didn't you? Yep, I did. He goes, what regrets do you have in your career? I said, well, I wish I was a better leader at times. I wish I was a better father. You know, started going through some things with him, and he's like, you know, then you wouldn't be here today. If you didn't embrace those and go through those, do you think you'd be here today? Do you think you'd be a sergeant major, leading the largest organization in the Iowa Guard, the largest full-time force that the Iowa Guard has of 112 strong? If you didn't go through all that adversity, do you think that'd be you? And I got thinking about that, and I'm like, gosh, I sure would hope so, because I hated going through all that type of stuff, you know. But he's right. If I wouldn't have gone through all the adversity I had throughout my life, throughout my 22 years of service, I would not have achieved the rank of a sergeant major. I would not be leading the greatest and the most important organization in the Iowa Guard. The number one priority organization in the Iowa Guard is recruiting battalion. Again, you can't do anything if you don't have personnel, right? And he's like, I could take that rank off you if you want to go back and replay that type stuff. And I guarantee you're not going to come back here. You're probably going to end your career as a sergeant first class or a staff sergeant or something like that, or you probably would have bounced out of here long ago. He said the difference in you and the difference in me as a brigadier general, because I had adversity too. The difference was we stood through that adversity. We embraced that adversity. We accepted the adversity, and we stood. We continued to stand through it. Even when it knocked you down to your knees, you stood up and you took a step forward. He said that's a problem today. A problem today is people don't want to face adversity. They run around adversity. They run away from adversity. And then the adversity becomes bigger and greater, and you never grow as a person. So the number one thing of a soldier and a person is to face adversity. Know that it's going to happen. He's like, you like to lift weights, right? I said, yeah. When you walk in that gym, you're not as strong as you are when you walk out. I said, yeah, that's true. Common sense. I like to think that, unless I cheated myself. You know, and he's like, that's adversity. Every time you think of adversity, every time you're talking to your soldiers about adversity, think about the weight room. You're going to go through that door. It's happening no matter what. You're going to go through that door, and when you come through the backside, the exit, you're going to be stronger. And it's going to help you grow and be a better person, be a better leader. And that's why you're here today, is because you stood through that. And you didn't let it knock you down. So, you know, I thought that was very powerful to me and made me reflect back on things. And I do think, as much as it hurt at times, I would go through all that stuff again to get to where I'm at today. Because my family's awesome now. I said it. I said the family word. Gets me every time. All right? So the family's awesome today. My service is awesome. My soldiers are awesome. My NCOs, my leaders, my officers. Everything is great. And I achieved a pretty high level in the organization. I get the opportunity to do that because I stood and I didn't cower and I didn't drop to a knee and I didn't let it run over me. I stood through adversity. That's the greatest thing a soldier can do. That's the greatest thing a person can do, is embrace it because it's coming. So Oelwein, thank you for your time. If you get anything out of this message and this rambling, just stand. Just stand because it's coming. Thank you.
Thank you for your message, Sergeant Major. We appreciate you being here today and for your service to our country. Next, we would like to bring up the Oelwein Legion and VFW Honor Guard for the folding of the flag.
Thank you. Have any of you been at a military funeral where they fold the flag at the gravesite? Raise your hand. Do you ever wonder why they fold the flag and what that means? We're going to talk about it this morning. The first fold of the flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief that our Constitution is the foundation of American democracy. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of our veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their life for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth flag fold represents our weaker nature. For America, citizens, we trust in our God, for it is human nature to turn to a higher being in times of peace, as well as times of war, for divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. For in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is where our hearts lie. For it is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all enemies, whether they be found within or outside the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to those who entered the valley of the shadow of death, that they may see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood, for it has been through their faith, love, and loyalty, and devotion that the character of men and women who have made this country great have been molded. The 10th flag is a tribute to our fathers, for they have given their sons and daughters for the defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold demonstrates the spiritual nature of which our nation was founded on. 12th fold, in the eyes of a generous and loving nation, represents a symbol of those who love thy neighbor as themselves. When the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington, and the sailors and the Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving us the rights, privileges, and freedoms we enjoy today. The next time you see a flag ceremony honoring someone that has served, either in the armed forces or our civilian services, such as the police or fire, keep in mind the important reasons behind each and every fold. They have paid an enormous sacrifice for us by honoring our flag and our country. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. I'm going to close this out with some thank yous, just a few notes, some housekeeping notes, and gentlemen, you may be seated unless we're going to do a retrieval. Okay. A few housekeeping notes for our Oelwein High School students. Sit tight. Let's let everybody else get out before us. We've got about 10 minutes before you have to be anywhere. Go to fifth hour or lunch, depending on if you have a lunch. Junior high, I'm sure you have instructions in fourth grade as well. Hey, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you again to our veterans. How about one more round of applause and thank you for just as Sergeant Major said, we are the land of the free because of the brave. So thank you for that. I want to introduce a few people you've seen up here on the stage that are sitting up here. These are some veterans who were part of the Korean conflict as well as World War II. This is a big deal, guys, to have people who have been through this era. This is huge. This was a couple years ago that both these happened. And so I want to introduce Tom Slaughter. Tom is over here. Big hand clap for Tom. Air Force veteran. He went into service 1947. Yeah, so 1947, he entered service. That's amazing. So thank you for your service. Also, Paul Ryan, Army Korea war veteran. Is Paul over here? He's over here. Yeah. your service and being here. We appreciate you. Also, Bud Burke is here. Bud, thank you. So again, extra special. This gentleman served in World War II. How about another hand clap? Also, Jen Nielsen is here. Thank you for your service career. And last but certainly not least, Bill Schultz, also a career veteran. You served in the United States Army as well, so thank you again, gentlemen, for being here, and again to all of our veterans and every peacetime and war. It's all service. It's time away from your family. It's sacrifice. And if you're a family member here, or if you are, is anybody related to somebody who has served or is serving? Just a hand show. That's like almost every single person here has been touched by someone in the service, and their lives have been changed because of that. So know that it's important that you're here. Last thing I want to say to our students and those that attended, thank you for your behavior today. I've heard Sergeant Major say this, he didn't tell you this part. Part of his job, and when he gets kind of excited and fired up, is he actually addresses brand new soldiers, and I've seen some veins come out in some areas, and he gets really overly amped up. But one of the things he says often are the 4 rights. So he says, be here in the right time, be in the right place, be in the right uniform, and the last one is have the right attitude. So you didn't get the choice to come today. We asked you to come here as students, but you had the right attitude and showing excellence and respect, so I appreciate that. So thank you for continuing to display the right attitude throughout the rest of today and into your weekend. So with that, I want to say finally a thank you to Mrs. Jacobs who organized all of this, our Oelwein High School band, another hand clap for them. I want to say thank you to the Williams Center. Dick is back in the booth here as well, so thank you to the Williams Center and your staff. And finally, thank you to the community of Oelwein for continuing to support this amazing program and our veterans. God bless. Thank you. At this time, you are dismissed. High school, again, I would like you to remain until